Guys, it's Nancy, the Handy Scandy, and thanks for joining me for another crafty venture. Today I'm collaborating again with my sweet friend Marie Walton, and this card is completely out of my wheelhouse, I think, but I'm in love with it. So going back to the collab, Marie Walton is from Marie's Vermont Creations. I wanted to make sure that I got that out there. And she and I are going to try to be doing some collabs from time to time. We don't really have it on a schedule, but she's a lot of fun. She's my social worker friend, and we both have YouTube channels and all that. So yeah, we just clicked and decided that we like to do some collabs together. So I will try to link for our last collab. It was it rainbow themed? Yeah, I think it was rainbow themed. She's one of my rainbow friends. All right, so to my card, again, this is, like I said, out of my wheelhouse, but I am loving it. So as you can see, I had some fun with my gel plate, and I'm really just learning. I'm very much a novice with the gel press, but I'm ready to just get in there and get my hands dirty and just play. So on this particular day, I was actually listening to and watching Seth Apter, because he did a live for, I think it was Jelly Press. I'm trying to look at the name of the company. Jelly Arts, Gel Printing Plate Company. So anyway, he was doing a live, and I said, you know what? I keep wanting to pull out my gel press. I'm just going to do it while he's live because I'm home and I can. And after Monday, I can't do that anymore because I'll be back at work. So I just took advantage of that time and just started playing. I got dirty, I got painty, I got inky, and I had so much fun. And I made lots of pulls, created lots of pulls. This is just my process for the backgrounds that I ended up using on this card. So there it is. That's the one that I decided to use. And I'm using my my slimline die to actually kind of help me find the sweet spot on this particular pull. So that's the spot that I loved, and I cut it out on my die cut machine. I still need to get those extended plates because I still have to run everything through twice or more. It just depends. Some things just completely mess up. So anyway, there I'm trying to develop a plan because, again, this is more of a multimedia thing than just a card with a gel plate background. And multimedia is not in my wheelhouse, but I am loving it. I love to get dirty. I love to just fly by the seat of my pants and let the art take me where it wants to. And that's exactly what multimedia is, at least from my perspective. So I was figuring out a plan, and this little stencil, this sunburst stencil from A Colorful Life Designs, really started my design team journey. And that's a story in and of itself, but I just wanted to put that out there. So I ran some Nouveau Glacier paste in the color of Pineapple Delight. I put that through the stencil, cleaned the stencil off, and then I had to hit it with my heat tool because we all know I'm impatient. And then I came back in with this stencil, and I can't even remember who it's from. I want to say it's either Heffy Doodle or Newton's Nook, but I'm not sure. I won't lie to you. But anyway, I thought it was fun, and I added some Brutus Monroe Chroma Glaze through that in the color of Bubblegum. So staying within the color palette of that background so that it's really more just texture. It's not so much a visual change, if you will, but it's more of a textural change, and you just have to really get in there and look close to be able to see the different textures. And so here I am taking this beautiful stamp from Lavinia. It's called Green Man. And many cultures have a mythical god. Either he's called Green Man or he has that same sort of mythology behind him. And he essentially is the god of new growth, of spring, of rebirth. And you know what? We can all use some of that, right? He's amazing. The artistry, the texture, the dimension on the Lavinia stamps blows my mind every time. And this guy, I just love him. So I hit him a couple times. I stamped the stamp a couple times with my Brutus Monroe embossing ink, and then I used my Wow Rose Gold embossing powder. Now, the stamping did not get down in the crevices from where I put the sunburst. So it's just on top, and in some places that rose gold mixed in with the Pineapple Delight embossing paste, and it has created the most interesting textures and colors. And here where I'm using these little, I can't remember the name of these, I'll have them listed down below, but I'm using these, they're like foliage essentially. I got them a couple months ago maybe, and this is the first time I'm using them. But just adding filler essentially and using that same rose gold embossing powder. But then again, the rose gold is the texture, and the embossing powder is mixing with the paste and the textures that I already have down there. And it's just so stinking cool. So as I'm putting this embossing powder on, I'm liking the layers that are building up and the way these colors and textures are kind of blending. So I thought, I'm going to reheat my green man, and I'm going to add some more embossing powder, because that adds layers of embossing powder. When it's wet, whether it's because you stamped it or because you heat it again with your heat tool, that wets essentially or melts the embossing powder, and you can add more layers to that. You can put more embossing powder, you can put different colors, you can put clear, you can put different textures of embossing powder, glitter, whatever, and then hit it again and melt it, and then it just continues to build. Now you want to be careful, because if you're using a detailed stamp, like this one is very detailed, I lost a lot of that detail, but the detail was already gone because it didn't go down in the crevices from the sunburst. So I was okay with that. I just wanted the dimension. I wanted the colors in there that were kind of creating themselves, if you will, because they were melding and merging together. So I am in love with my process so far. So here I come in with, I can't remember the name of this stencil, but it's from ACLD as well. And again, I'll try to link it and list it below. And I put some more of that chroma glaze, just because I didn't have enough texture already. So I just think it's really fun. So I have various layers, various colors, various shapes and patterns. And as I hit that with my heat tool as well, because I needed it to dry, I decided I'm going all around this baby with some more embossing powder. I want it in the gold family, but I pulled out my Hero Arts gold, and this one is, I think it's an antique gold. It's called Princess Gold, and I've had it for a long time, and I'm about out of it, but I went all around the edges, and that just kind of frames the whole piece, if you will, and it marries it all together. And gosh, guys, I'm in love with this. I can't stand how much I love it. I wish that I had zoomed in closer, but here I decided that I wanted to layer it with some other cardstock, and this is my process. So I had those neutrals, and those are the three that I really like. The black makes it pop, but it was just too harsh. So I keep going. The gray's too cool, because those are some very warm, bright colors. Even the golds are warm. And I really like the coral, and I really like the orange, and I really like the pink. The pink pulls all of that out, but that's not what I wanted. I just wanted something to kind of tone it down and marry it, not necessarily make anything pop. And these neutrals did exactly that. They kind of neutralized it, because visually there's a lot going on this panel. So I'm like, do I like the craft? Do I like the green? I don't know. But this one won for me. So I just used my tape runner and mounted it down after. I just cut it on my Tim Holtz guillotine trimmer. I didn't use any dies or anything. And here I mounted with that X-Fasten tape that, you know how I feel about that. But anyway, it worked in this process. And here I have pulled out some sentiments from their Tim Holtz, what are they called? Ideology Chit Chat stickers. So I found three that I felt said what I was wanting to say on this particular card, and I used different mediums to adhere them down because I ran out of my foam strips. But anyway, I did it. And on the inside, I decided that I wanted to stamp the green man again, just so it nods back to the front, and the recipient can see what he's actually supposed to look like. Because again, I lost a lot of the detail in that whole layering process with all the embossing powders and texture pastes and things. So there he is with that delicata copper, and he's just gorgeous, and I love this card. This may now be in my wheelhouse. So there you can see, you know, some of that texture, some of the bubbles. You can see where the embossing powders have overlapped, and just all the different layers. And again, they're more visual layers and textural than they are anything else, and I love it. Let me know what you think, guys. Make sure you hop on over and you check out Marie's card. Completely different than mine. The theme is stencils, so she went a different route than I did, and I love her card too, and I love her. And you guys go over and give her some love. Give us a like, a subscribe, ring that bell so you're notified of everything that we have coming up, and leave us a comment downstairs. We'll see you guys soon. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.